Good morning to everybody and welcome to Timeout on this cold, again, Highveld morning. Fortunately, it's not probably as cold as it's been these last couple of days. If you've lived up here in the Highveld, it's been freezing. So I hope this morning that wherever you are watching, that you are cozy and safe and that you are blessed. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard about that song called The Times Are A-Changing, and it's a song by Bob Dylan, and it was released I think 1964 in January. And now I'm assuming that I'm not sure if you were alive in that time, or that you can remember so far back, or that you even know who Bob Dylan is. But he sang a song called The Times They Are A-Changing, and I thought that's a wonderful theme that could be sung today, a song, and it would be true. The times they are truly a-changing. And with that, I was just thinking to myself, I don't know about you out there, how you feel, but I'm not always great with change. And I don't know if there are people that are great with change, but I find it's easier to talk about change, but it's not always as easy for us to do change. So wherever you are this morning, maybe you're facing change and you're listening to the news, you're listening to what people are saying, you're wondering about your job, you're wondering about COVID, you're wondering about the economy and politics. And I just want to encourage you to have some time out. And as we just take a lighter side of a bit of change this morning, that times are a-changing. Now, I just think that sometimes when I am faced with change, there are two responses I can have. It's like the saying is, you can have flight or fight when you are shocked. Now, when you are come to change, I think it's the same. When we are faced with change, sometimes we want to stand up and fight. We want to defend our position because we believe we don't have to change. And why should we change? And the problem with that is it's great, but what if we're supposed to change? Then we are defending something that is already out of date, and we're wasting a lot of our energies. The other response to change is obviously what I call, is the concept of, having a fluid response to change. In other words, almost like let it flow, let it go, and let's see where change takes us. Because change is here to stay. We know that, and if it's moving, let's move with it and see where it takes us. Now, I'm reminded that oftentimes, I don't know about you, but when I learned to drive many years ago, probably when that song was sung, a little bit after that, but I remember that the greatest challenge to me was when they said, get in the car, and when you've done all your safety checks, now put the car in gear, start the car, put it in gear, push the clutch in, put it in gear, and slowly let the clutch out, and at the same time accelerate, and try not to stall the car. And it was such a major milestone when I could get it right, that I didn't stall the car and I could travel. That my biggest fear was now that I had to change to second gear and then to third and fourth gear. And so I just thought, well, things are going well now. I haven't stalled. Let's just stay in first gear. But the problem is, when you stay in first gear, the car was not meant to stay in first gear. So the revs go up. The engine eventually feels like it's climbing out of the bonnet. The noise levels go up. And of course, you don't move as fast as you should. You're just making a lot of noise and obviously consuming a lot of fuel. And, when you rev a car up in first gear and it doesn't have enough wind through the radiator, there's also your temperature gauge goes up. And I was listening once to a very prim and proper lady that said to me this. I'm just repeating her, so don't be angry with me. She was explaining in a situation where she lost it, and so she said, my moermeter went up. So I want to translate that to English. It's when your temperature gauge goes up. It doesn't have the same effect in English, but that's really what happens when we ride our cars in first gear instead of second, third, and fourth. The temperature gauge goes up. Now, people when that are in this mode, and maybe you are that person, or I've been that person, when they haven't changed gears in their lives. When you come through the front door, there's a lot of noise, there's not a lot of action, and and they're very frustrated because they say, I don't seem to be getting anywhere, and it's so noisy in here, and and my temperature gauge is also going up. So I want to encourage you, as Bob Dylan said, the times, they are a-changing. And I feel that it is important for us, you and I, to maybe realize that it's important to get out of first gear into second gear, to take the risk of pushing the clutch in, accelerating and not stalling the car, and then actually traveling at the speed that you should, and realizing that we will also, when we do this, change gears, also not allow our temperature gauges to go up into the red. And so I leave you with that thought this morning as you travel. Change, it is a coming. Change to second gear and watch that temperature gauge this morning. God bless you and thank you for watching. My name is Jack Vint and this has been Time Out.